Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week we bring you things from across the country to talk about right here in your neighborhood. And on this week's show, we got this.
In fact, what's special about TikTok is that anyone, whether you are a creator or a business, you can get discovered.
I think that was just breathtakingly beautiful.
All of that and more right here on New Mexico Rising. What if you knew exactly when your life would end? Adam Silvera's hit series, They Both Die at the End, flipped the idea into a worldwide phenomenon. And now he's back with a powerful third installment, The Survivor Wants to Die at the End. The book is already making waves and marks 10 books in 10 years for Adam, who's kind of grown up alongside with the readers. We're thrilled to welcome the TikTok sensation and the #1 New York Times best-selling author, Adam Silvera. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing so well, Dan. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so let's start with the title. The Survivor Wants to Die at the End. It's kind of a bold title. What does that mean for the character of Paz and for the readers?
Well, I mean, I think every title in this series, especially They Both Die at the End, is like a bold title for this series. So I feel like I have to keep the trend going at this point. But, you know, it was really important for me to signal what kind of story this is. You know, I think in the same way with They Both Die at the End, where I wanted to prepare readers for that ending, whether or not they believed it. I think 3 books into the series now, they trust that what I say in the title is what I mean. You know, and I like it's a book about battling mental health and mental illness, and Paz is a character who is struggling with a will to live, and the other boy Alano is determined to save him, and so I just wanted to write the story that about he may want to die and be having this ongoing battle with his mental illness, but life is worth living.
And the Deathcast universe has kind of grown into something really personal for a lot of fans. What keeps drawing you back to it as a writer?
I mean, I heard this quote one time that all great stories about love or death, and this series is definitely about love and death, and and I think all my work will continue to be. It's something that I'm constantly grappling with, questions about death and mortality, and these books have been a really beautiful way for me to explore these questions that I keep asking myself over the years.
And this book also explores some heavy stuff. It's grief, loneliness, and I guess even a group called the Death Guard. How do you balance all that with the message about learning to live?
Well, I mean, I think we're no strangers to opposition in this world and to really terrifying times, and yet it's in our best interest to find the beauty in life, right? And to find the people that make us feel safe and make us feel secure and make us feel loved, and knowing that even in the darkest of times, those people are out there, and it's really important for us to be reaching out to them. And even if we are in a place of strength ourselves, to be making sure that we're checking in on the people who might not be as strong as we are right now and might be a little bit more vulnerable.
And you've published about 10 books in 10 years. That's pretty crazy. Looking back, how has your writing and your audience pretty much evolved over that time?
I mean, it's wild. I mean, I've met some readers from the first book back in 2015, start as freshmen starting high school, and I've now seen them exit college and get their first jobs. And some of them I've written college recommendation letters for over the years because I've known them for so long as young people who were just attending my events and always had such inquisitive questions, and were just so impressive. So it's been really wild I started publishing when I was 25 and about to be 35 next month, and my life has changed in so many ways, and much gratitude to those readers who have gotten me to this place. And my writing has only gotten stronger because I have one rule with every book. It is for that book to be better than the last book, right? I can't control the quality of a book 10 years ago, right? I did the best that I could at that time, but now I can be better than that last book with more time.
And you've also built a really passionate community online, especially on TikTok. How has that changed the way you've connected with readers or even write your own stories?
I think sometimes there's this idea that maybe there's going to be more pressure from having a bigger fan base that I now am going to be scared to write. I'm I mean, whether I'm writing for 1 reader or 1 million readers, right? My process, the only the only person's like review that I can control is my own. So as long as I know that like I'm happy with the book I put out there, I will never doubt the quality of it. I'm like, okay, this book just simply didn't connect with people at this point in time. But you know, I've been fortunate enough that, you know, the energy that I put into this book is being well received by the readers who are picking it up.
The Survivor Wants to Die at the End is available now wherever books are sold. To learn more about Adam and his work, go to adamsilvera.com. Hey, thanks for joining me this morning, my friend.
Thank you so much, Dan. Really appreciate it.
Do you ever scroll TikTok and think, how did this random soap company just like blow up overnight? Well, it may not be so random. It's Small Business Month, and TikTok is celebrating with a $1 million ad credit giveaway. Yeah, you heard that right. To help small businesses grow big audiences. Joining us today is Esme Lane, TikTok's head of SMB, that's small and medium businesses. To break it all down, welcome to the show, Esme. How are you?
Hey, Dan. Good morning. Very good to be here.
All right, let's get right to it. TikTok is kicking off Small Business Month in kind of a big way. What are you announcing, and how can businesses take part in that?
So small businesses are the backbone of our community, and all through May, we're celebrating Small Biz Fest. You mentioned it. As part of this Small Business Festival that we're celebrating, we're announcing a $1 million ad credit giveaway. So businesses who have not gotten started on TikTok have the absolute opportunity to take advantage of, you know, the giveaway and all of the resources that we're pulling together this month of May.
And this $1 million ad credit, it's kind of huge. Can you walk us how small businesses could actually apply, qualify for it, even if they don't know how to dance?
Absolutely. So we're hoping that businesses are absolutely excited about this opportunity to get started. And it's super easy. So you get onto TikTok Ads Manager with your official email address, you sign up, and then you apply for it. So we've got a website that we set up, TikToksmallbizfest.com, which is fully dedicated to sharing resources about how to and what to do on the platform, what features to use, what solutions to use. But to participate in the giveaway as well, you can use TikToksmallbizfest.com and apply. And in the summer, we're going to be announcing the winners. And all through May, we're doing a ton of workshops, events, etc., and connecting with the community that has not yet gotten onto TikTok.
And there's a lot of platforms out there. What do you think makes TikTok such a powerful tool for small business owners?
What I know makes TikTok special is it is a discovery platform. So it truly does not take a lot of big budgets or big production to be successful on the platform. In fact, what's special about TikTok is that anyone, whether you are a creator or a business, you can get discovered. Now, one of my favorite stories, Dan, from the region is The Blend. Now, you might know this, but Blend is a smoothie and mini pancake cafe that, has opened 3 locations thanks to TikTok, and tells us that over 50% of the people that walk into their cafes are actually coming from the fact that they heard about their business on TikTok, which is an amazing story, but is one of the thousands of stories that exist on the platform today. Now, the last thing that I will leave you on this with is we have more than half of the American population on the platform today. That itself should be the motivator for businesses to get on TikTok and get started right away. And we're hoping that Small Biz Fest and everything that we're doing with this $1 million ad credit giveaway allows for business to just be that little push, that extra motivation to get started right now.
And for someone that's just starting out, pretty much maybe unsure how to begin posting, what's your best piece of advice, or do we need a lot of equipment for that type of thing?
Yeah, you don't actually, and I'm so glad you asked this question. It's super simple to get started on TikTok. In fact, some of my favorite stories are businesses that have turned the cameras on themselves. Some of the stories are businesses talking about the struggles of running a small business. It's not at all simple, and I'm sure sharing that with the community helps resonate the story and the value that they want to generate as well. We've got tons of these stories. So it is, in fact, that simple. Turn the camera on yourself and get started. And if you need any help, My team and I are, set up across the US. We're here to support. This website that I shared with you, TikToksmallbizfest.com, gives you access to our teams as well, and we're here to help.
And do you have any other examples of small businesses that have taken off due to TikTok, or like something that shows what's really possible?
Absolutely. So I can share with you my favorite. Let me tell you, Dan, I am obsessed with pickles, and I came across I Love Chamoy as a result of this obsession and doom scrolling on TikTok. Now, what happened was, Annie Davila's story was motivated completely by the fact that she was trying to find a sugar-free alternative for her father, who was recently diagnosed with diabetes. And she came up with a chamoy that was made out of monk fruit. Now, what's fascinating about her story is she shared that entire journey of, production to going to market with her product, to finding customers, to building more flavors, etc., on her platform on TikTok through her her business I Love Chamoy. Cut to a ton of her sales, like most of her sales coming from TikTok Shop, a huge community behind her, and her chamoy on pickle videos specifically have a significant community following, and yours truly as well is part of that. So this is just one more of the hundreds of stories, and I can go on and on, Dan, on this, but truly TikTok works, and businesses just need to bring their passion for an idea, a product, a service that they have. Come to TikTok and just get started. And Small Biz Fest and this $1 million ad credit giveaway is such a perfect space to get started.
One more time, Esme, where can they go to apply for that $1 million credit?
So the website is TikToksmallbizfest.com. And you just need to apply with your official email address and connect with us.
Well, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Dan.
Our next guest is unique. What do you get when you mix couture chaos, murder in paradise, and a comeback wedding with secrets that could pretty much kill? It's Another Simple Favor. It's the long-awaited sequel that reunites Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively for another round of sharp wit, killer fashion, and even deadlier twists, this time in Capri. Joining the cast is Tony winner Alex Newell, who plays Vicky, Stephanie's fierce and fabulous book agent. Welcome to the show, Alex. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Good.
This sequel, it brings back a lot of wild energy from the original, but now we're in Capri with even more secrets and high fashion. What's it like stepping into the deliciously chaotic world?
Amazing. And I get to be in Capri. Who doesn't want that? And oh God, that backdrop is gorgeous.
Your character, Vicky, is Stephanie's book agent. Can you tell us a little bit more about them and what kind of dynamic they bring into the mix?
Chaos in the fun way. I think Vicky is somebody that everybody wants to be on vacation, and she's on a work vacation at that. So she's just trying to get a good book deal out of Miss Stephanie Smothers.
From Shucked on Broadway to a Paul Feig thriller in Italy, you've been booked and busy. What drew you to Another Simple Favor, and how did it feel to collaborate with this ensemble?
When my agent texted me and said, "Hey, do you want your White Lotus moment?" I was like, absolutely. And she said, "Well, Paul is directing the sequel of A Simple Favor and wants you to come on out to Capri and play this role." And I was so honored because I'd worked with Paul on Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist before. And so to come back and be actually directed by him and work with this incredible ensemble was just a dream come true. Everybody was so lovely.
And the movie blends comedy, mystery, and a little bit of glam, sometimes all pretty much in the same scene. What was your favorite moment in the film, or one that you think that you will always remember?
Oh my goodness. My favorite moment from the film that I think that entrance to Capri, the boat ride into it. I think that was just breathtakingly beautiful, just riding in onto it. Ugh.
And between the twists, the couture, and the cast chemistry, what do you think will surprise audiences the most this time around?
The chaos. I mean, there is so much happening that you don't get a break from it. I think that's what they'll really take from it, but also kind of like what friendship is. I think we all have that frenemy and that friend that we all like to jab at and talk to, but we love them regardless.
Alex, thanks for joining me this morning. You should check out Another Simple Favor. It's available now on Amazon Prime.
Have you noticed your doctor's visits getting more expensive, even for the same treatments? There's a reason, and it's something most patients don't even realize is happening. Joining us is Dr. Antonio Germann, a family physician who's working to fix this growing issue through smarter policies and better care access. Welcome, Dr. Germann. What's behind these rising medical costs, especially for things we've previously done at lower prices? And how is this trend affecting families and outcomes across the country? And what are site neutral payments and why are they being recommended? And what can people do to avoid overpaying for their care? And where can our viewers go to learn more? Thanks so much for joining us today. Have you heard about Lyme disease or heartworm affecting pets? It's more common than you'd think, and it's spreading fast. Dr. Brad Ryan is a veterinarian with Antac Diagnostics. He's here to share how we can keep our pets safe with better testing and prevention. Welcome, Dr. Ryan.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Why are more pets getting sick from things like Lyme disease and heartworm?
The real issue here is that vectors, which are these biting insects, ticks, mosquitoes, are not staying in the same place, right? They're moving across the country. As we see warmer temperatures, warmer winters especially, these vectors are moving across the country and they're sticking around longer throughout the year. So those are some of the major reasons we're seeing an increase.
And what can pet owners do to protect their pets from these diseases?
If you have a dog in North America, pretty much any corner of the country, Canada, United States, we recommend as veterinarians that your pet be on year-round flea and tick prevention, as well as year-round heartworm prevention. And of course, annual testing is so important. So when you take your pet in for his or her annual wellness exam and you're getting the blood work done and the urinalysis done, hopefully your pet is also receiving a comprehensive vector-borne disease screening test like Acuplex or True Rapid 4, which looks for exposure to not only heartworm disease, which can be transmitted by mosquitoes, but the three most common tick-borne diseases, which are Lyme disease, anaplasmosis, and ehrlichiosis.
Name my pet already takes heartworm meds.
Right.
And do I still need to get them tested?
Yeah, and I should mention that New Mexico is one of the areas of the country where heartworm disease is not endemic, but we're still starting to see higher than expected heartworm positive prevalence in New Mexico. So heartworm's a big concern for me in New Mexico, as well as the fact that you have brown dog ticks, which can transmit not only anaplasmosis, but ehrlichiosis. So your pet is definitely at risk year round and should be on prevention all 12 months of the year and should be tested every year for exposure to those diseases.
And how do pets catch these diseases? And should we worry that humans are catching them too?
Yeah, I mean, and definitely not telling people that you should be terrified to go outside. That's not the case. When you have your pet on prevention, when you have them tested every year, that's going to calm you down a lot. But the bottom line is that when we're outdoors with our pets, these ticks are equal opportunity infectors. They can infect you, they can infect your pet. So we have to be vigilant about inspecting our bodies when we come in from the great outdoors. If you see a tick attached to your pet, stay calm, remove it with tweezers very carefully, make sure that you remove the head as well. Obviously kill the tick, and keep going about your business. And of course, if your pet wasn't on prevention year round and you know that your pet was bitten, that's a time to make sure that you make a phone call to your veterinarian and let them know what happened.
And is there anything I should ask the vet next time we go in?
I would just say, how are things changing? I heard this veterinarian on TV the other day, and he was saying that we're starting to see more heartworm in our state. We're starting to see more tick-borne diseases in our state. When was the last time my pet was tested? Was he tested for just heartworm or for tick-borne diseases as well? And can I have my pet tested today?
And where can our viewers find more information?
Two great resources are petsandparasites.org. That's going to give you great information about vector-borne diseases that infect cats and dogs. And to learn about the testing options that exist that you might want to bring up to your veterinarian the next time you're in, head to antechdiagnostics.com. That's ANTECH diagnostics.com.
Dr. Ryan, thanks so much for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Have you checked your flashlight batteries lately? Spring is a great time to tidy up, but it's also the perfect moment to make sure your home is safe. We're joined by Cathy Pedrayes, a safety and cybersecurity expert who's gone viral as the mom friend with helpful home and tech tips. Welcome, Cathy.
Thanks so much for having me.
You say we should be having safety conversations. What should those look like?
Yeah, I mean, these are conversations that we should have with the family. But as a mom, something I've been thinking about recently is whether my kids know how to identify emergency situations. And when those situations come up, hopefully never, do they know how to respond? Do they know how to make an emergency call? Do they know what to do if they get locked out of the home? And do they have trusted adults that they can go to if, parents are a little bit intimidating in that moment? So those are some of the conversations that I'm having in my home, but this is something we should have across our families. But if you have young kids like I do, you can really start early and then you can have them more often.
And what are the easiest ways to check our homes for safety this spring?
Okay, so as we're doing the home safety DIY refresh, right? I want you to, as you're doing that, write down also your safety checklist so you can refer to it in the future. But look around the home, look around for things like tripping hazards, look around for things that can fall. Gardening, right? Now's the season. And I had a bird bath that could easily fall on my kids. So I just kind of knocked that over so it wasn't a hazard anymore. And also there's standing water. It could be something as simple as a bucket. It could be even like pool toys and things like that. So think about that. And then think about life changes. Did you renovate? Did you move? Did you recently end a relationship? It could be a romantic one or another kind of relationship. Like I had childcare situations come up. So in those instances, you'll probably want to rekey the locks to your home. And fortunately, if you have QuickSet, a lot of people do. So just a quick life hack, if you have QuickSet, is that many of their products have something called smart key technology, which allows you to rekey on your own. You don't need to call a locksmith. You don't need to change the hardware. It is a DIY. They were the first to introduce this DIY technology. So you put in your old key, you turn it, then it comes with this little pin. It's called the learning tool. You put that in, push a little bit. Now pull both products out and then put a new key in. You're going to turn it again. And suddenly you have rekeyed your door without needing to call anybody to help you do it. And you know, something as simple as a good lock is essential for security.
And how can we clean up our digital lives while we're at it?
Yes. So this is actually kind of goes back to that lock point too, because people also have smart locks like I do, and you can rekey with a smart lock as well. But a lot of us have apps for our smart home devices, for other devices, security devices, etc. Make sure all of your apps, whether safety related or not, are staying updated. And then as you receive information that a password has been compromised, which is very common, you update that. You're enabling two-factor authentication whenever possible. And then think about access codes and who has access to what. It could be cameras in the home, which are very common, baby cameras. Who has access to it? What devices are you sharing that with? And do you want them to still have access? That's something that's very important as well. And then also just doing like a general email cleanup when all the junky stuff is coming in. Unsubscribe, delete, get rid of it.
And style and safety. Do we have to give up style for
No.
safety?
No, they go hand in hand. So a good example is landscaping, right? When overgrown landscaping is a safety hazard, it's also not as pretty as something that is nicely maintained. So that's a great example. There's also things like lighting, for example. You could do that outside of the home, and in the home, there's some really cool ways to boost the safety lighting. So for example, if you've ever had that experience of trying to find the door lever of your bedroom door when you're trying to, you know, in the middle of the night, go to the restroom or get a glass of water, you can't see it. They have something called the Halifax LED lever, which has an LED light built in, no hard wiring necessary because it's a battery, and it has a motion sensor light. You walk up to it and it just illuminates for you. So that's an example of how technology could help as well. But then there's also the basics, refreshing the first aid kit, fire extinguishers expire. You know, are you taking a look at those? Because you want to make sure it's ready in case you need it, or even batteries to flashlights, carbon monoxide detectors, that kind of thing.
So many great tips. Where can our viewers go to find some more if they want it?
Social media is a great place. I'm there, but also for the specific products I mentioned. And if you want to see demonstrations of that rekey technology so you could do it at home, go to quickset.com and you'll find that all there.
Cathy, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me.
And that's it for New Mexico Rising. I want to thank you for tuning in and checking out the show. If you actually want to be on the show, just email me. That's newmexicorising@gmail.com. We're on social media like Instagram and Facebook. You could also follow us on YouTube so you can like, comment, subscribe. All that stuff they say on YouTube all the time helps us out too. And until next week, that was New Mexico Rising.
Oh, these cabanas for our Back to the Beach party are perfect. 9 friends hanging out in the cabana, watching the 69 boys doing Tootsie Roll, Here Kitty Kitty, Come On Ride the Train remix. The only thing better than that is DJ Way Funky in there. Meep, meep, meep. What's up with all the bananas?
Well, I was thinking we got Hannah's in cabanas giving bananas.
All they need to know is that May 31st here at Oasis Event Center, it's Back to the Beach 2 for the 90s dance party.
I ran out of Hannah's.